Hi everybody, so today's challenge is relative sort array. So given two array, array1 and array2, the elements of array2 are distinct and all elements in array2 are also in array1. Sort the elements of array1 in such that the relative ordering of the items in array1 are the same as array2. Elements that do not appear in array2 should be placed at the end of array1 in ascending order. So if we're given this long array, we are to arrange this array. Wait a minute. Given two arrays, array1 and array2, the elements of array2 are distinct and all elements in array2 are in array1. Sort the elements of array1 is such that the relative order of items in array1 are the same in array2. So the ordering of items in array 1 are the same in array2. That means if I take out this, I should be able to put them here also, right? And the rest items at the end. So suppose we're giving this 28. So why are we repeating here but not repeating here? Okay, 2, 28. There's 228 here, but then there's 1 here. There's another 8, there's 17. Okay. Now that was very, very tricky. This is what I know. Now let's assume we are given this and we start from 28. 28 and 22. We'll put 22 first and then we'll put 28 next. If 28 is here already, we'll put it just once. But why is it that in this case we are putting it twice? Like 2 is 1, 2, 3. 2 is 1, 2, 3. So why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Doesn't make sense to me. But then, like, what I would say is, first things first, this array has to be sorted. Does it? This array has to be sorted. Because here, as we see, it's quite sorted because 7 and 2. Okay, the relative ordering of items in array 1 are the same in array 2. Are the same in array 2. Okay, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I see. So we are not merging the two arrays together actually. Okay, I see now. I see. So this if these items are in this array, we want the ordering to be the same. First array is sorted. Okay, so this is how I will handle this. I would start sorting this array, right? I'll start sorting this array like this. I'll go through every item in this array and check and try to sort it, right? Now this doesn't even make sense to me because this doesn't even make sense to me though. This doesn't even make sense to me because who made the decision of putting I forgot the timer. So I have a timer of 15 minutes running. So what I don't actually understand is why in this example, two um I don't even get it. Is it that once we spot the first number, we are going to let me read the description again. So given two arrays 1 and 2, the elements of array 2 are distinct and all elements in array 2 are in array 1. Great. So the elements of array 1 such that the relative ordering in item 1 in array 1 are the same in array 2. Elements that do not appear in array 2 should be placed at the end of array 1 in ascending order. So what this means is sort the array in such a way that the relative ordering of items in array 1 are the same in array 2. The relative ordering. Now, if that's the case, if this is to be sorted, why are we not starting from 1? Why aren't you starting from 1? Because if there was another 1 here, what would happen? If there was another 1 here, what would happen? Would the 1 come first? So, because in this case, you see, there's 22, there's 28, there's 8 and there's 6, right? 22, 28, 8 and 6. This is in front. Why is this in front when 17 and 44 are less, when 17 is less than 22? Like, why? And why is it that if that's the idea of always bringing the items in array 2 first, why is 2, 1, 4, 3? Why are we not starting from 2, 1, 4, 3 and then every other thing? You understand? Let me just see some hints. Using a hash map, we can map the values of array 2 to their position. The values of array 2 to their position in array 2. Using a hash map, we can map the values of array 2 to their position in array 2. Doesn't make sense. Okay, good. I find this question misleading. True. I would say this is also a misleading question. Remaining number order doesn't matter. Let's see. I don't know, but this question is not I don't know how we should put it, but but it's kind of complex for me because if you tell me you want me to sort, if you say you want me to sort this array, you want me to sort this array, but then you want the precedence, this sort precedence, and you want this sort precedence. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to sort the array till I see the numbers that you have asked for explicitly. You know, till I see the numbers you've asked for explicitly. So for instance, if you give me, like in the example, if you give me this number and give me this array 2, and you tell me to sort them in relative order, what I should do is What I should do is, okay, let's identify the numbers here. There's 2 here, there's 1 here, there's 4 here, there's 3 here, and there's 6 here, right? Okay. Okay, so if we try to follow this analogy with the hash map, and we say, and we are just writing the numbers we have seen. For instance, we have seen 2, um we have seen 2, we have seen 1, we have seen 4, we have seen 3, we have seen 9, and we have seen 6. If we have seen all these numbers, right, then the rest numbers, what do we do with them? So what do we do with these 2? Let's just show this area after we have taken all those stuff out. Okay, so I've taken 2 out, I've taken 1 out, I've taken 4 out, I've taken 3 out, I've taken 9, and I've taken 6. So now what happens to these numbers? What happens to these numbers? That's the question I have. How are they sorted? Now I expect 2 to come first, and I expect another 2 to come first, and then I expect the 2 from the range to come first, and then the other numbers in the range, and then I expect 7. Then I expect and then I expect 2, 1, 4, 3, and then I expect 9. Are there 2 3s? Okay, there are 2 3s. What the fuck? This is so wrong on many levels. Let's take a look at the solutions. Let's take a look at the solutions. Or I also want an explanation for the solution, right? But let's see the solution of this. I'm going to pause this video and try to learn more about how the explanation to this. Yeah, I think I get it now. It's just that it was wrongly explained, but I get the point now. What we're trying to do is this is not exactly how they should be sorted, right? This is the format of how they should be sorted. We are given this array, and we are told there's going to be numbers here that are here. Wherever you see these numbers, sort them according to this the precedence in this array, right? So what that means is if we're given 28 this and this and this, what we're going to do is we are to sort this array, right? But then we are to sort with this format, in this order, in the order of the array given. So this how I would approach this question. First, there's going to be a loop through all the items in array 1. So if we loop through all items in array 1, while looping through these items, we are comparing the item we have now with the item um in the smaller array 2. Yeah. So if we start here and we check, is this number in array 2? If it's in array 2, what do we do? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, first, wait a minute. I'm thinking of things a little bit differently. It doesn't say we should do this in place, right? That means we don't need to do this in place. We have to we can construct a new array if we want. So okay. So a great way to think about this is to have a hash map of all the items in array 1. We have all the hash map of all the items in array 1 and try to construct a new array, right? Then we check what is the index of 22. What is the index of 22 in array 2? It's 0. And then we find 22 here. And then we find 22 here and add it here. And we'll check next. What is the index of 28? And then we put it, wait a minute. And then we go to the second. No, this is not going to work because we are going to be jumping some items apparently. We're going to be jumping some items apparently. But then if we start over from this area and we say, okay, let's now this is quite tricky one. Okay, so if we convert this array, I'll just need to write down a bit. If we convert this array to a hash map, it's going to be something like this. A hash map is going to be something like 22 0. Or the timer is up. I'm actually going to beg for additional 5 minutes. No, additional 10 minutes because I kind of like this question. So the next one is 28 and is 1. And 8 is 2 and 6 is 3. So another approach that just came to my head, but I don't think it's going to work, is to have the positions of array 1 in a hash map, right? So we'd have something like 28 is 0, 6 is 2. But then what happens when we have multiple entries of the same number? It doesn't work quite right. What other approach can I use here? Okay. So Okay, I think one other approach just came to my mind, which is first run through array one. First run through array one. Add all the numbers in and the account. Add all the numbers and the account. So you're going to have something like, for the second example, 28, which is 1, and 6 is 1, 22 is 1, 8 is 1, and 44 is 1, and 17 is 1, right? And then we are going to, this is us looping through everything, right? And then we are going to loop for the second time. This time around, we are going to loop through we are going to loop through array 2. We're going to loop through array 2 and iterate over array 1 over the new array with the count, with the value of the hash map. Then how do we refill items that were not in this array? That's a good question. How do we for instance, in this case, how do we put in 17? There has to be some kind of I'm not sure. Okay, you know what that approach you can take? Now that's the problem with that approach. When we get to the last numbers, we wouldn't be able to loop through them. Another approach you can take is to convert array 2 into a hash map. Convert array 2 into a hash map. Loop over it, and convert array 2 into a hash map. Now this is, so if we convert array 2 into a hash map, and then loop over array 1, convert array 2 into a hash map, loop over array 1, and then when you find the index of an item, you keep finding. Wait a minute. So that means you're going to have 2 0. Now this is not actually a performance algorithm. What we plan to do is not a performance algorithm actually, because I was thinking, for every when we start looping this, you first loop through this. For every how do I put this? When we're looping, or when we're creating the new array, we find 2, because it's 0, we'll put it as 0, and then we find 1, and then we find 4, and then we find 3. No, that's not going to be performant. But I believe there's another way to think about this now. There's another way to think about this. If I'm thinking if we have if the problem is sorry about that. So if our problem is if our problem is wait a minute. So if we have a hash map of all the numbers, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, that's not going to work. If we have and then loop from 0, okay, you know what we could do. Okay, here's another approach that I think is going to work. We convert array1 to a hash map. Now what is this hash map going to store? This hash map is going to store these numbers and their position in array2, right? These numbers and their position in array2, and then we can loop through all the items in array2, creating array1, right? That's not gonna work. Okay, wait a minute. So we loop through all the items in array2 and their index in array1. Sorry, we loop through all the items in array1 with their index in array2. So at the end, we'll have something like 2 is 0, right? 2 is 0. 1 is 1. 1 is 1. 4 is 5 or something. And then later we come and we loop through this again, and then we loop through. If you say we loop through this this one, then how do we get the how do we okay, so time is up. So let's just take a look at the solution though. Let's just take a look at the solution. JavaScript. Okay. Is there an explanation? It's just taking forever. So let's look at the solution here. So it says we were looping through to compare number 1, array 1 and 2 to set the relative order. So for each of the items in array 2, we are going to loop through array 1. We're going to loop through array 1. Okay. And then push array 1 to the index of that makes sense. Display the elements that do not appear in array 2 by removing null from the sort the remaining elements in array 1. Wow. Now there's something wrong with this. There's something that doesn't resonate with me here. This solution is not I don't agree with this solution because it's like looping, having an outer loop and having an inner loop. I feel like there's an easy way to go about this. Even if I didn't think of this first, you know. Yeah, so I got another insight on how to solve this problem. And I'm going to solve it by first converting all the value of array. Let me just go back here. In a minute. Description. First, go back to through all the items in array 1 and store their frequency in a map, right? And then loop through array 2 and have another internal loop looping through the map, the value of the map of items in array 1. So it's going to look something like this. If I want to write the pseudo code for it, it's going to look something like first convert the value of convert array 1 to a hash map, right? After converting array 1 to a hash map with the occurrence with the frequency as value. After that, I want to then loop through array 2 for each item in array 2. What do we want to do? Loop through the frequency in array 1 and then return the answer. This is what this looks like. So first, let's convert array 2 to a hash map. We'll do that by using a for loop. Let's use a for loop for now. For let x equals 0, x less than array1 dot length, then x plus plus. So for each of these, let's have array1 lookup, const array1 lookup, which is just an empty object, right? So we want to say array1 lookup of equals we just want to increase the count, right? Equals array1. Okay. Let's say the value is let's call it val is array1 x. This is the value, right? And the value is going to the frequency. The frequency is the value and the frequency. Frequency is array1 lookup. Oh, I don't really need the frequency. I just need to say array1 lookup or value 0 or array1 lookup value plus 1. So basically what we're saying is we want to write to I'm trying to see something right now. First the value is mostly going to be undefined. Yeah. Now this is going to cause an undefined. No, this is not going to be undefined because there's always a number in array X. Yeah. But the value is going to be the value, if the value exists, is going to be, if the value exists, it's going to be value plus 1, or it's going to be 0. This should work. I'm going to remember the number pattern. Yep, so the value is going to work. And then after this, we should have a lookup that looks something like with the values of everything, right? There's another way we could go about it too. We could just say if array 1 lookup value, then I want lookup value plus 1 equals plus 1, or array 1 lookup value equals 0. I mean, this is another way to do this. I don't know if this is a cleaner way though, but I think this is an easier way to read because it's kind of self-explanatory. So after we have converted these values to hash map, the next thing we want to do, wait a minute, what's it doing? Okay, it's trying to submit or what? The next thing we're trying to do is loop through x array2 less than array2 dot length x plus plus less than array2 dot length. What we want to do now is loop through array2. Let me just write the numbers in array2 here: 3, 9, and 6. 9 and 6. So we want to loop through this and know the count in array1, right? And then while we are doing this, we want to sheet answer, right? Which is an empty array, right? Great. So when we are looping, we want to find the value of the current index, which is array 2x. We want to find the value of the current index in array 1. Yeah. So what we are in lookup rather. So what we are going to do is that we're going to call it value and frequency, right? Value and frequency. The way we calculate frequency is the same value of x in array 1 lookup. X is going to be the frequency. So I'm going to use a while loop while frequency is less than or equal to 0. That means we want to keep doing this shit till it gets to 0. What do you want to do? Temporary array. Okay. Okay. Answer the push array 2x. So what this is doing is this is saying value. There's really no need to name this value. Okay. Also, there's really no need to name this frequency also, because I mean we're not trying to have readability out of the bat, right? So while array lookup 1 is less than 0, we want to do this, and then after that we want to array 1. We need that shit actually. We need the frequency. equals array1 lookup x. Why frequency less than 0? We just want to minus frequency. Frequency minus. Great. So after that, we should have, let's see what we can have. Return answer. So let's try to test this. I would like to move myself a bit out of here. Not out per se. This is good. So how do we run this? Okay, run. We should have some kind of there's no value here. What do we want to do here? Look up array1x. That should be it, right? Still, then maybe we should. I mean, I'm not trying to be readable here. I'm just trying to make this work. Okay, frequency, because we're trying to change a const, right? Let's see what this gives us. Oh, out of memory. No. Why is greater than or equals to 0? No, why is less than or equals to 0? Because the first one is. Okay. So what answer does it give us? 1, 4, 3, and 9. That's because it gives us 1, 4, 3, and 9. I expected it to give us 2 also. I expected it to give us 2 somehow. Is it greater or equals to 0? My frequency is greater than 0. Yeah. No. My frequency is greater or equal to 0. That's not what we want, right? That's not what we want. Now this is getting so long. Let's see where we're making the mistake. Okay, let's also return array1 lookup and see where the error is coming from. I mean, I know it's not. Can we console the log? Can we do that? I know it's not returning anything. Okay. So 1 is showing. What are we even given? So 1 is showing 1 time. 2. 6 is showing 0 time. Oh, that's pretty wide. It's not 0. This is 1. That's where the problem was. And that's I see. It's 1, not 0. Okay. So value is not also defined. So array1x. I think we're getting close to it because we need to debug quite a lot. Yeah, so 1 show 1s, 2 show 3s, and yeah, this should be it. So when we return answer, we should have something similar to the answer, except for the last items. Yeah. Hmm. Something is wrong somewhere. Something is wrong somewhere. Let's console the answer and array 1 lookup. Seems like array 1 lookup doesn't really have a problem here. But 1 is once, 2 is thrice, 3 is 2 times, 4 is once. The rest of them are 1. Yeah. Ah, I see. I see. I see. I see. So we are to minus it, right? And then for each of this, after I see, I see, I see. The reason we're not to use frequency x is because we're just storing um what's it called, a reference to it and not the actual. Can this work? Does this work? Let's see. Still doesn't work. Alright, it was -1. No, it doesn't still work. Okay, but at least one thing I know is that this is, wait a minute. I just want to see something right now. This is actually an interesting question, and I'm spending almost an hour here. So 2 is 3 times, right? Array 2 dot length. Yes, so we start at 0 and array lookup of 0. No, no, this is not what we want to do. We want to say array lookup of 2, okay, of 0, 1, no, of array 2x. That's what we want to say, right? No, 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 no. No, no, that's not it. What we want to say is first, what is x? Um, okay, this is where the problem is at. So let me see if I can clear off everything here. So after we have the lookup, we want to loop through array 2. Let's just take out what I put there at first. I could have taken it out since. So we want to loop through array 2, which is 2, 1. So we start at 2. When we start at 2, we find the value of 2 in the map, and normally it's 3. All right. So the value of 2 in the map is 3. How do we find the value of 2 in the hash map? Yes. If it's greater than this, no. But then this is where the problem comes up, because we are trying to bypass every other thing here. So this should give us something close to our answer. Yeah, this gives us something close to the answer, right? and the one left are these two. So this is the wrong answer, yeah? 743396. And then for the last two, they were not found in this one. What do we do for the last two that are not found in this one? We have one more loop that is going to run. Wait a minute. One more loop that is going to run for... Wait, I'm just trying to figure out something. And then what happens to the last, like 7 and 9? Remember 7 and 9 have just one in the array, right? 7 and 19 rather. So how do we sort out 7 and 19? One way to sort out 7 and 19 is one way to sort out 7 and 19. There's something we're missing in the algorithm, obviously. When we were looping through this, we want to also check if this, we want to have a separate array. We want to have a separate array, not in array 2. We can have a separate array, not in array 2. What this is going to do is going to check for if this is not in array 2. If array 1x how do we check if this is not in array 2? If array 2 no find, then not in array 2 the push array x, array 1x. So after then let's consider log. Not in array 2. Yeah. So if you consider log not in array 2, please not a function. What does this mean? Is it not array 2 that they are giving us here? What do you mean that 2 is not a function? Right, let's see if that's the problem. Go find, hey. I'm gonna say something. Two is not a function. What does that mean? Let's see, second array to find. Now that's where the problem is. The find index. Can we do that? This is an array, obviously. So why can't we find a number? Array to find index. JavaScript. array dot find. I see. I see. So we need to do some kind of additional stuff inside of it. Is in array2 equals array2 dot find x array2 dot find equals to array2 x. If not is in array2, then run. Let's see if it's going to break this time still. Okay. So our array2 gives us, not in array gives us empty array. How is that possible? Let's console. Let's see what is in array2. One. It keeps showing 1. It's in array2. If x, we are supposed to be doing this. So 3 array1 dot find x equals to array2x. That means, wow. Now this is tricky because x is kind of like a value here also. Let's call it y. I mean, I know is most likely not going to is in array2. Let's just see. Three. Why the hell is it outputting 3 to me? Why the hell is it outputting 3 to me? Array1 dot find. Basically, what we're finding is the value of array1x in array2. This array dot find. I see. Array1x. I see. Array1 dot find. Okay, so let's take a look at find. Find is this, all the elements in this is equals to this. If any of the elements in array2 is equals to this element in array1, right, equals to, if any of these elements in array2 is equals to this particular element we're dealing with now in array1. Now this is becoming more tricky and more tricky. Okay. Okay. And then let's just only log not in array2, because it seems like I can only log 1. Yep. And then we want this to be answer plus. Can plus even work with this? Let's see. What's it going to give us? Can plus even concatenate strings? Yeah. So what we're going to do is this does concat, not in array 2. So it's going to give us the complete one now. Okay, the other problem that it wants is sorted, right? Not in array 2 dot sort. Then boom. So sort by what now? Sort by AB, A minus B. Yeah. Oh, man. Let's try to submit. Quite a tough question if you ask me. Wrong answer. Why is this a wrong answer? Mm. How is this a wrong answer? Mm. No, that's something. No, that's something. Why is this a wrong answer? I think it's because of this 0. Yeah. Okay, so let's add this case 3 and the second one true. So let's run it with this third case, test case. 0. That's because when you say an object of 0, or what does it imply? I mean, I'm getting a low battery. When you say let's create this new object equals 0 1 object 0 1, it works. So at what point do we get a problem? Let's see. Let's log array 1 lookup. So at what point do we get to the point where yes 0 1 yes, or is it in this place where we're doing greater than 0? No. Yeah, so this works. 0 1 yes, 21. So this is where the problem comes in, because I think we're trying to push 0 inside and it's not working. But then let's log array 2x here, and let's log array 2x here. Yes, it does it perfectly. 0. And it does it perfectly. So It does it perfectly. So I think it's because we are minusing great. Okay, let's say greater or equal to. Could that be the case? Greater or equal to? No, wrong. That's not it. So if we push 0, what's going to happen? My battery is dying so quickly. I mean, this is so interesting right now. It's so interesting, but I think my battery is about to die, so I'll just stop here and continue some other time.